Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are enjoying your night. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Chances are, if you're in central to eastern Texas, you're experiencing some pretty bad weather. There's an ongoing tornado outbreak going on in portions of Texas, even portions of Oklahoma have seen tornadoes. I've seen pictures of damage coming out of certain areas of Oklahoma also. This is ongoing. I understand a lot of people are probably watching these live streams that are bringing you up-to-date radar images of what is going on. But I want to mention, if you want to see what is going on, hit me up on Twitter. If you're not big on Twitter, that's fine too. It's hard to share things on Facebook because you have to create a link on my Facebook page, and it's not as easy to do. But hit me up on Twitter if you're a big Twitter person. I'm retweeting everything that I see. But guys, there's just an all-out tornado outbreak ongoing right now in Texas. I mean, you pretty much can say it. It's ongoing. So I'm making this, and really we're just going to focus on what's going to go on over the overnight hours, into the overnight hours, into tomorrow, and really focus on tomorrow, what is going on. I understand a lot of people are watching into those live feeds, but I'm going to feel like I need to do my part here and definitely mention what the possibilities of what could happen tomorrow, because if anything ends up happening tomorrow in areas of like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana that is happening right now, then we're going to be into some trouble. And honestly, the dynamics in place look very similar. So maybe even better, depending on what we're talking about as far as kinematics or thermodynamics. But anyways, let's get deep into this. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Hit the subscribe button. Prayers are out for everybody being affected right now. As of right now, which is 7:49 Eastern Standard Time, I haven't heard of any deaths, but it's still early. So we're praying for the best case scenario with that. But there's already been a ton of damage done. Heck, even radars are getting hit right now by tornadoes, and radars are down because of storm damage. I mean, it's crazy the content that I'm seeing right now. So prayers are out for everybody being affected. This is ongoing right now. Will continue to be the case into the overnight hours, and the flooding threat will end up ramping up overnight. So obviously, if you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. We need to continue to pray for our folks in Texas and Louisiana, and then in the deep south for tomorrow. So let's get going here. I want to remind you guys I'm leaving late tonight to chase southern Mississippi. So going to do my part, get out there and provide some live content for you guys and try to figure out what's going to happen here. But right now, ongoing through the rest of the forecast period, which is to about tomorrow morning, you got a moderate risk up. This will obviously get cut down as the more stable air moves into central Texas and then into eastern Texas. But ongoing severe weather overnight. It's going to be a loud one. This is going to shift into far eastern sections of Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana. This will eventually move into you folks overnight tonight. Tornado threat is big, but I mean, we already know that. There's already been confirmed multiple tornadoes. And it's ongoing right now. As I speak, there's probably somebody else getting a tornado is probably hitting somebody else right now. That's why I even was tempted not to even make this video, because I almost felt like it was pointless. But I really want to mention the fact of what's going to happen here in the next several hours and then into tomorrow, because I feel like it's important to mention. But wind threat continues to be elevated, hail threat large. The weird thing about this is I haven't seen any big time videos of any type of huge hail or anything like that. And obviously, I think chasers are probably avoiding the hail cores of the storm, but I haven't seen any crazy hail footage. But that might not be the case by the time I jump off this video and look on Twitter, but it's wild what's going on right now. We'll get into tomorrow. Still that moderate risk for these areas of Louisiana, Mississippi, and ongoing severe weather. Sorry if I'm not as clear, guys. It's just wild what I'm seeing on my phone right now, what is going on with Texas. I'm a little bit discombobulated, if you will, but I'm really hoping people stay safe. It's got me a little bothered here, but moderate risk up right here for areas of southwest Mississippi, and then basically the crease of Louisiana right here, Baton Rouge, including Jackson, Mississippi, and that is because of this tornado risk. There's a 15% risk of a tornado in 25 miles in any given location in this red area, and then a 10% risk in this yellow area. And there's a hatched risk, which is those dotted black lines, which basically means that you have a chance, an equal chance, in these shaded areas, depending on what percent chance you are, to see an EF2 or higher tornado, which is considered a stronger tornado. So going forward here, we're looking at what's going on. This is for around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so we need to go on and back this up a couple hours. So these storms will be ongoing, producing tornadoes. This becomes really dangerous once it gets into the overnight hours, once it starts to get dark. But I do think the tornado threat will diminish somewhat, but not completely at all. And really what happens here is this low-level jet ramps up, gets some warm air advection pulling into areas of southeast Texas, and you get a nasty storm threat in Houston, Texas, points north. And then we're starting to get into Louisiana as we're getting into the early morning hours, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. These storms continue to move into Louisiana. This is around 11 a.m. And then you start to watch this area into Mississippi, Louisiana, heck, even Alabama. And let's go on and switch to this right here. Going forward here, look at this. I'm going to stop it here. It's around 17Z Tuesday, which is around, think of this as around midday to about 1 or 2 o'clock. Basically Central Standard Time. So you got the main line of action right here, right? This is going to be a tornado threat on the zone. It's going to have a chance to produce rain-wrapped, quick-moving tornadoes, especially up here in this triple point. But you have basically the warm sector, moist sector of dynamics in place. The thermodynamics, the Cape is the highest right in here. Kinematics is probably highest right in here. And the kinematics are probably the most highest, probably well up here in northern Mississippi. But as far as the best low-level moisture, the highest Cape, mixed in with favorable kinematics, which means that 50, 60, 70 knot low-level jet, you watch these storms right here. We call these prefrontal storms. So what do these storms do? You know, they've consistently on the HRRR model been showing to want to really explode here and pop up here in eastern Mississippi and then move quickly into western Alabama. You freeze it here, we're starting to get into that 3, 4, 5 o'clock p.m. range, and then you have this coming together, moving completely through Mississippi at this point. You watch for these renegade cells that can really get developing here. You know, you watch this kink right here, any of these storms right here, Birmingham, Jackson, Mississippi, anybody in between, Talladega, watch down here in Montgomery, Alabama also. All these storms right here can be dangerous, and it's, you know, it looks kind of messy. It looks like a messy mode of storms, not as discrete probably as the storms you're seeing in Texas right now, but these could be dangerous. There's a little bit more heavy populated area in these regions. There's a lot of trailer parks in this region, and that's not a knock on anybody, but let's keep it real. You know, there's a lot more trailer parks in this area, and obviously trailers are going to take more damage to these tornadoes. They're not as grounded as houses. I mean, common sense tells us all that. So a lot of mobile homes. So we need to be careful in these regions. You guys in Mississippi and Alabama know all too well about these spring setups. So this will continue into the overnight hours, tornado threat ongoing until you get into the late evening, and then it moves on through here. But, you know, storms moving into Atlanta overnight. It looks like it's a favorable time period for areas like North Georgia because it looks like the main piece of energy moves through and basically in the overnight hours, in the wee hours of the morning, so it doesn't have that daytime heating to really fuel off of. But there's also a threat of storms for the southeast for Wednesday. There's a slight risk up. Does this get upgraded to an enhanced? I'm not sure. You know, not a lot of people are talking about Wednesday, and because a lot of things haven't really changed, but there is starting to look like there is going to be some storms. You know, I look at the latest long range back to tropical tidbits. We're getting into 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Getting into the morning hours. Storms start getting going, and it stops here. It stops us at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got storms down here in Georgia, storms in central South Carolina, but nothing looks well put together. You know, it doesn't look like an outbreak of storms. I think it kind of loses that. This gets a little strung out and sheared out, if you will, as low pressure is positioned very far north. So you start to lose all dynamics in general. So we'll continue to watch that. This will probably be the last video I make, and probably until maybe Thursday, guys. You know, so I'm going to be out in the field, out in the middle of this, trying to get y'all some action. But stay safe out there, guys. You know, flooding is a big risk too. You know, this is rainfall all the way between now and around Thursday evening. Several inches of rain expected in southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, the entire state of Mississippi, 2 to 4 inches of rain possible. And this is going to fall at probably a quick amount of time. So dangerous situation ongoing right now. Y'all guys stay safe. Praying for everybody affected. And I'll talk to y'all out there on the field starting tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. God bless.